I hope you are doing good.
I'm
First, I'm
always
gonna present. Thank you. I'm gonna present you for those who don't know you, Mr. Mike Passenier, alias Big Mike, a kickboxer, a world-class trainer, the owner of Mikesgym. You trained some big names of kickboxing like Badr Hari, Martel, Gokhan Saki, uh, Melvin Manhoff, who did also some MMA, and who I love a lot the style of fighting. So, welcome, Mr. Mike. Did I skip something?
no, that's about it.
Okay. So my first question: how Big Mike came into the world of kickboxing?
Oh, that's simple. I used to be a soccer player. I need to be stronger. I didn't like to lift weights, so I think kickboxing is also nice. So I started doing kickboxing.
Okay. And how it does the training session with the coronavirus goes? How the preparation of the athletes goes with this condition now?
Well, here in Holland, we can train. We're allowed to train, so we can train. And after that, after the training, just stay 1.5 meters from each other. That's it. So we do just fine. No problem. We are working our way back to November 7th. That is the first new big show. And
Yeah.
well, we try to make the best of it.
Okay. Great. In your opinion, why is Holland well known of the quality of their fighters and gyms? What is the secret?
I don't know. Maybe no, I don't know. Maybe we're more serious with our jobs. I don't know. You know.
Maybe the style of kickboxing.
Yeah, it could be. We combine the boxing with the kicks. That's a big thing, in my opinion. And well, we take our work very serious, of course.
Okay, I see. And why the Mike's Gym is our day well known than many others gyms like Chakuriki and maybe Colosseum.
Uh,
Why?
I don't know. We like to give the audience their money's worth. We always go for KO. We always try to fight attractive. We also try to win every time. We don't dance around for points. We just yeah, knock people out. You know,
Okay,
and if it doesn't succeed, we at least trying.
okay. You go for KOs and show.
Yes, I think
Okay,
that's much more appealing to
okay,
the
I
audience.
see. Okay.
You know, there is
Uh,
nobody in the whole world that says before they go to a show, I hope there's going to be some nice clinching tonight.
yeah,
The other
yeah.
one says, no, I hope they try to avoid some fighting. No, they just want to see fights, bangs, knockouts, and stuff like that.
Real fights. Yeah. How goes the preparation of Badr Hari for his next fight, the 7th of November?
Well, we started for a while now, and I think we are right on track, you know.
Okay.
Of course, you know, it's still like 8 weeks away from me, 7 weeks, 8 weeks. So I hope we stay on this course, and then you will see a new and improved Badr.
And how do you see the progress of Badr inside the glory? Did he aim to take the title? And,
Now we never fight for titles. You know,
okay,
we fight to entertain.
okay,
And when we fight to entertain, you know, that means we give a big show. As I said before, we try to go for the knockout. We don't slow it down. And, you know, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Most of the time we win, so that's good. And
yeah, good.
yeah, and that's why the people like him. So, you know, we got the biggest title there is, the People's Champion.
The title of people and celebrity.
Yeah.
I think he aimed maybe to give us a great show and maybe to take the belt from Rico. But did he speak about his future after the glory? Maybe in boxing or in MMA or not
No.
yet?
No, we don't talk about that, you know. First, we need to talk about November 7th. You know,
Yeah.
after the next fight, you know, we take it step by step. And we do this for the last 14 and a half years now. So it works for us like that. Don't look for the future or no. Take it fight by fight. We see what happens.
Going step by step.
Yes.
Okay.
Nobody knows what the future holds for us.
Mike Passenier, what do you think about the difference between K1 area and the glory area in terms of the quality of fighters?
Ah. Yeah, I think in the K1 there was more diversity, you know. And with diversity, I mean, you got this guy who is a boxer, you got this guy who is a karate guy, you got this guy who is the French street fighter, you got this big Korean guy. You know, we got all kind of different kind of fighters. And nowadays, more fighters want to look like each other. You know, there is something new on television or there is something new on the internet and they want to be like that. They want to do like that. Okay. That's the difference between then and now. And back in the days, well, like I said, there were more schooled fighters. You got different gyms. You got different styles. And styles
Yeah.
makes fights. That's just one thing that's for sure. And now, you know, you got a gym and you got another gym that's coming out of the first gym. So they got the same style. They only got a different coach. Okay. Simple. That's more like that, you know. And, well, and in K1, if there was no opponent or they didn't know, they will look for an opponent. They bring in, I don't know, a guy from Brazil, or they
Yeah.
bring in a karate guy, or they bring in some, I don't know, strange form of fighting art, and they bring it in, and you know, and you have to fight them. You didn't know, you didn't have that much internet, so you cannot study a lot. You can only just go in there, you know, prepare and rely on your own base and your own fighting, and adapt on the spot. You know, and now you can look on the internet and, you know, if he does this, you do that. If he does that, you do that. That was that's now. And now it's the same as soccer. You know, in the beginning, everybody want to play soccer just to win. Now they're
Yeah.
playing not to lose. Okay. So, you know, it's difficult. You know, if you don't come to fight, if you just come to survive, a lot of fighters do that.
I see the kind of fighters that you talk about, like Globe Feitosa maybe, or Peter Graham, who came from Kyokushinkai or other martial arts types. No? So it was really, K1 was really open of
Yes.
lots of sides. In my point of view, I'm not an expert, but I mean, my point of view, I like the generation of Peter Ars, Badr Hari, Ernest Hoost, Globe Feitosa, and many others.
Yeah, well, I agree, but we have to remind one thing, you know, our fathers always say, well, in the early days it was much better. And so the next generation will think that this generation is better, you know, and you forget about it. So we are here, you know, try to compete in the old days, in the days before, and in the nowadays, and in the next future. So, you know, we want to establish something. That's our goal.
I know, Mr. Mike, that you have a special relation with your fighter, especially before the fight. I want to know what do you say to the fighters in their ears before the fight?
It depends, whatever comes in mind, whatever is necessary at that day or at that time, you know. And, I just call it the way it is, you know. I don't sugarcoat it. I just tell it the way it is. And, and if it means I have to say something just to hype you up, I will. I just say everything. And if not, yeah, not. But I'm the guy who hypes you up and brings you to the ring so you can perform and you don't think about your dog who just died or, your uncle who got sick or whatever, You're focused on fighting. And that's
Yeah,
why people pay money. That's why you're there. So just cut the crap and start fighting. That's what it is.
so it's a way to up the adrenaline and to focus more.
Of course,
Yeah,
you have to see, you most of the time they tell you to come backstage just almost one fight before. So that
mm,
means if you are out of luck, you wait for another 20 minutes. You warmed up, and then you need to wait for another 20 minutes. So by the time the fighters tend to doze off a little bit, you know, they fall asleep, they're getting cold, so you have to wake them up, give them a little bit more fire.
yeah, I see. So, Mike, I know that you have a lot of weight of and categories of fighters and styles. Maybe the preparation in terms of preparation, there is a difference. For example, between the preparation of Badr Hari and Marshall Grownhouse, for example.
Ah, well, mm, no, no, there's not much difference. But Myrtle is not with me anymore, so
Okay,
so that's different.
okay. How Badr Hari was mentally after his last injury?
Uh, well, he was sad, of course, because and he was disappointed
Yeah,
because he was so close, and he really wanted to win. And we are two KOs or 2 8 counts ahead. We won at least 2 of the 3 rounds. So that means, it's 4-1 or 5-0. And, you only need to fight it out.
yeah, I see.
And then you win. If you give him another 8 count, you know, then it's then you only have to give him 2 more 8 counts, and then you win the fight. You knock him out. He's not on his best anymore. He's wobbling. He's gassed out. He's hurt. He is scared. He's tired. He has a lot of things. And at the end of, he won because of an injury. Oh, these things happen.
Yeah,
So that's why he was a little bit sad and
yeah,
disappointed, of course.
it's normal. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, because you know, in Holland, a lot of people are watching. In Morocco, a lot of people are watching. All over the world, a lot of people are watching. Never in life has so many people watched that fight. And in a fight like that, you want to win.
sure.
Simple as that.
Mm,
And if you don't win because you got knocked out, or you don't win because you make a mistake, you know, okay, well, we made a mistake. It's our fault. We have to sit and we have to talk about it so it doesn't happen again. But this is just something, you can't help. We didn't
yeah,
make a mistake.
mm,
Yeah. He just
it's
torn a
happening.
ligament in his ankle. That's it.
Okay. For you, who is the next big star of kickboxing between those? Elias Belaid, Tijani Bstati, Zakaria Zougari, and Mohamed Jaraya.
No. Uh, I don't know. I think Ilyas Bulait is on his way to Bellator. So, and he's doing MMA, so he's not a kickboxer anymore.
Yeah, so him. Yeah.
Zakaria Zugari. He's doing okay, but you know sometimes he's a little bit distracted, but he's doing very well. Tajani Bestati, he's winning for a while now. He's doing very well at the moment. And what's the other
Mohammed
guy?
Farah.
Oh, Muhammad Jarai. He's a very good
Yeah.
fighter, but he got lost in track for a while. He's on his way back now. So, you know, only the future will tell. But for now, I think the most highly ranked fighter is Tijani Bestati. So we have to go for him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mike, I know that you have a new book about Big Mike. How you came up with the idea of the book? I think first, I think the book is full of experience, of point of view, of background of Big Mike. First, how you came up with the idea to have a book, to write a book?
No, there was this writer, Wilson Baldwin. He came up to me and he asked me,
Okay.
I said, listen, I want to write a book about you. Do you want it? Or do you like it? I said, well, I didn't see it like that. But, you know, we can always try. And then, you know, I asked him, what do you want to write about? He said, well, all the things you have experienced in life. And we start from when you were young and till today. So, you know, I just sit there every week for a couple of days talking about, you know, where we were, what we do. I'm just show it according to videos about fighting and stuff like that. And that's how the book came up. And well, I'm very happy it did, you know, because it turned out well. I got good reviews, and a lot of people say, "Well, I didn't know it. It's like that." So that's why.
Okay. Don't you think in the future to prepare more MMA fighter than a kickboxer, or you're gonna stay in just kickboxing of maybe the majority of your fighters?
Well, the thing is, first of all, I'm a better kickboxer than MMA coach.
Okay.
I know a lot about MMA, but nowadays, in the beginning, it was like boxers versus kickboxers, wrestlers versus judo guys, Brazilian jiu-jitsu guys against kickboxers. Things like that was all mixed up. So you can prepare for some kind of style. And nowadays, everybody knows everything a little bit. So, you know, they are all 7s or 8s in every discipline. Okay. Oh. So, and I don't have any MMA fighters anymore with Melvin left and Dion starting left, you know, Alistair left. So I don't have any MMA fighters anymore. So it's okay.
Okay. So, Mr. Passenier, I'm gonna tell you to tell me a special story who happened to you before a fight. Something special.
What is special? What do you want to hear?
Something of bizarre and something or that's don't happen every day or every fight.
Oh, well, okay. About what fighter?
Ferrari, for example, is the most attractive. Yeah.
The most attractive fighter. Okay. A nice story. Okay, that's a nice one. After the first fight we fight Glauber Feitosa.
Okay.
After the first fight, we always make a bet together. You know, I said to him, I always said to him something like against Glauber Feitosa, I said, listen, I want to make a bet with you. You cannot kick him in the head in the middle of the ring. You know, it's easy to put somebody at the ropes and kick him on the head. But, you know, he's a good kicker. And so if you kick him in the middle of the ring, you know, by then it's going to be almost over, the fight. And if you do this, so he said, well, so we make a bet about a bottle of champagne.
Okay.
So before the fight, we went to the supermarket, or we came to a liquor store. We go inside, we buy a bottle of champagne. Then he says, okay, how do you want me to open? I said, okay, listen, you know, you drive him, and then you give a fast jab, a very hard low kick,
Yeah.
another hard jab, and another hard low kick immediately. He says, why? I said, well, listen, because, you know, if you catch him 2 times on the leg, you don't need to worry about that leg for another 30 seconds. You know, it's hurt.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so, you know, at the end, you know, he was standing there and looking. And then all of a sudden, you know, we opened. He just drove him. He had jab, low kick, pop, low kick again. And then, you know, they start fighting. And then Feitosa is coming back and his leg is not doing well anymore. And in the middle of the ring, he kicked him on the head. And he just looked at me and said, yeah, now I got him. So that's a nice story. And we got him.
He won the deal.
Yeah, because you see him crawling on the floor.
Yeah.
You know, and then I said, okay, listen, I've got here this bottle of champagne, you know, it's yours. And then he says, and by the way, we were in Fukuoka. So we were not in Tokyo. We were, I don't know, somewhere. It's about a couple of hours flying from Tokyo. And everything was closed. So at the end of the night, you know, I was sitting there with my bottle of champagne, celebrating in my own. And because Badri was tired, he was on his way to bed and I couldn't sleep. Oh, that's the story.
It's good. It's a happy end.
Yeah.
It's a happy end. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Mike, my last question, what is your advice for the next generation of athletes and kickboxer especially?
Okay, my advice.
Yeah.
Do a little bit less social media.
Yeah.
A little bit more training and serious training. Because, you know, they do 1, 2 things, you know, or they do one combination, put it on social media, and then show the video, said, hey, what do you think? Yeah, one combination. You know,
they became celebrities. Yeah.
Yes, but they forget about the basics. The basics are important, you know, because the hardest thing to do is to make simple things look easy. That's the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
And they forget about it, you know, and then you see people with wrong base. You think he's a good fighter, but if you look closely, you'll see, well, just a little bit sloppy.
Okay,
Yeah, that's my advice.
Mr. Mike, thank you for
You're
according
welcome.
us your time, your experience, your point of view.
Okay.
So thank you again, and we hope to have you between us second time.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.